The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Coming to you live.
We're live.
From the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live. And now,
Broadcasting live.
We will broadcast live
on the Fight Mixer Show.
What is going on? Welcome back to the Fight Mixer. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're here with four-time world champion, Mr. Gabe. Gabe, what's going on, brother?
Another day, man. Just getting going.
Fuck yeah. And we are here with MMA pioneer, the man himself, Jake Hatton. Jake, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, guys?
What's shaking? And we're here with our guest host for the evening. I'm going to have Jake and Gabe pronounce his name.
Please do so. Try it. So,
I'm not trying.
Come on, Gabe.
just try it.
Give it the old college try, guys.
Go, Jake.
Kealii?
That was close.
Very close.
Kealii?
Mm-hmm.
One more time.
Let's see. Kealii.
Ah, shit. You know, Jake, that was pretty close, man. That was close enough, but I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Kealii.
Kealii.
That was Kealii. I go by KJ. It's very easy and convenient for everyone else out there right now to pronounce, and you know, my name is Hawaiian, so that's where it comes from. That's my culture.
Samoan background, or what's your heritage?
My heritage is Hawaiian. Like that's my heritage. I am 68% Hawaiian, and the rest is a bit foreign, I believe. I think I have some England in there, French, and also Cherokee. I don't know. I still have to do more updates on my ancestral DNA, you know?
See, now we should nickname you Special K.
Oh,
right?
That's a good Jake with the marketing genius. Jesus Christ, man. That's a good idea, man.
Go.
Fuck yeah. And you're at your at the UFC gym right now. You're coaching right now. You're holding a class. Like what's going on?
I am. Well, it's a combination class. So tonight, Coach Inez is teaching a black light boxing class. I just did 2 of my privates right now, but I was going back and forth and helping out with wrapping up some hands. Right now, she's in the mix and getting the class started. It sounds pumped up as we speak right now. Like it's a great class.
Give us a view. Come on, you gotta give us a view.
Yeah.
What's
All right,
going on with that class?
By the way, I am just gonna keep out the faces. I'm sure no one can see because it's nighttime. I mean, it's wait, you guys can hear me.
Oh shit! Did you hear that sweet sound of gym activity? Oh, that's pretty rocking, man.
That's
That's pretty fucking dope, bro.
Look at all the people over here. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with the UFC gym, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they got everyone on the heavy bags right now.
Oh shit! Look at that! Look at everybody putting in work.
Yep.
You're world champions in that class, baby. See, Gabe is a demo. Gabe is a demo.
Jiu-jitsu going on back there.
Oh shit! Look at that! You have the cage in there. Right on. Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I can barely even hear you. So let me run around real quick.
I love it.
So,
Okay.
So Gabe owns the gym, Kajuja MMA and Fitness, and Gabe, I think we have to put in strobe lights. I think we a fresh redesign strobe lights. We gotta get like the UFC gym, baby.
Right.
We're more of a homegrown gym. We're not into the lights and flashes, but UFC gym does a good marketing with what they do. We're a different environment here.
Right. Gotcha. And just to introduce everyone to KJ and just show some of your handiwork, I actually prepared a brief video just to show what you've done.
Landing with his hands. Oh, he caught him with the back elbow, and he's out. The ref calls a stop. Kealii Kanekoa with the knockout.
I love that setup. I'm not gonna lie, that's my favorite elbow.
Fucking elbow, Jesus Christ, man. How the fuck did you land that one?
Rodriguez, he is a specialist, right? With that elbow too. I believe he knocked out Korean Zombie with that.
Yeah.
I've been practicing that elbow way before Year had landed that elbow on Korean Zombie, and that is my go-to elbow. I like to sneak down in, like every once in a while when I get the chance.
Was that a pro or amateur fight?
That was a professional fight out in Ring of Combat in New Jersey.
Yep, under Lou Neglia, the MMA a martial arts legend, kickboxer. You like Neglia, fucking one of the baddest guys on the planet, man. Like I did commentating for one of his shows. Oh, he's fucking radical. He's
Yeah, he's a good man.
Good fucking man.
He's a good man. He's actually a gangster.
Yeah.
So when I walked in to do my weigh-ins, these guys are like, they're just smoking on a Cuban and just relaxing. I'm like looking at them like, dude, we have a bunch of professional athletes walking in and we're cutting weight. We're trying to hop onto the scale, and like you guys are just going away puffing on that Cuban, and it was just clouded in the room. I'm like, okay. He was like, I don't really care about the hotel. Who cares about the hotel? And while he's sitting there watching us just hop on a scale, I'm like, oh, well, that's cool, man.
He's from the old school, man. When Jake and Gabe used to fight, like fucking people, they call them smokers for a fucking reason. Like people, okay, just go outside and have a good fucking time in your cage, kid. Just go fight. Yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah, man. So, obviously, you fought for Lou Neglia's Ring of Combat. You fought for LFA. You fought for Bellator. Besides coaching and everything like that, what's next for you? Do you have any fights in the pipeline?
Yes. So I've been in the talks with Cage Warriors right now. I really want to get a fight out in Europe, and that's the best thing about being a professional fighter, right? Is that all expenses are paid for. So like having that on their expense, or I can just make a trip out of it and go to London or Paris. That's the goal. I just love to fight. It doesn't really matter. Like that's going to be, of course, I am focused on the fight itself, and I want to like really just put on a show. But now I'm into the killer mode where I just want to just end the fight as much as possible, especially in the first round. I'm sure that's every fighter's goal, is to end the fight as soon as possible. That way they can go home to their family, go home and just have a great time. But that's the main goal, right?
Right. And Gabe, obviously, like both of you guys are coaches, and so when you step in there and you're actually a coach now, and Gabe, I think that making that transition from being, the fighter and this is a good question for Jake too. Being the fighter, being in front of that crowd, fucking roaring, everyone's going crazy. Those butterflies in your stomach, walking out to the ring. Holy shit, what am I doing here? Having those thoughts circling around your head, and you get into the cage. It's like, okay, this is why I'm here, and that's the reward for all this training and stuff. Like, just coaching. Is that what brings it back to this talent in the gym? And this is a good question for Jake and Gabe. When you see all that talent, is it like, okay, maybe I'll take a step back for a little bit. Then you see all of them and whoop ass Gabe. I've seen that video 1,000 times. Like, what's your? Is that what drives you back? Because you see all this talent that you're coaching and motivates you to get back in that cage.
Whenever I go to the fights, like I used to go to my guys' fight 2-3 months ago.
Yeah,
I really feel the same energy. It's a little different, obviously, because I have to be focused on my fighter versus being focused on me. And I don't have the ability to go in there and make the person do what I want them to do. But I mean, there's still that same energy, but it goes in a different. Because I mean, like, and I'll tell you, like, when I go to fights, I'm like, I could definitely get another one in, and then I start training hard. I'm like, oh, my knee hurts, my back hurts, so maybe I will not. But it's I mean, you never lose the drive to the show pony, I guess.
KJ, how about you, man? Like, is that what drives it back? Because you're coaching people, and you're in that gym, and now you're like, man, I gotta get back in that cage. Is that the added incentive, or do you ever say, you know what? I can also be a coach and make a pretty goddamn good living being a coach, like Mr. Gabe.
Yeah, I love teaching, and that's why so for me, teaching is my passion because as a young adolescent teenager, that really kept me out of jail and away from drugs and all that partying and shit like that. I respect the art itself. So any mixed martial arts out there, I respect it because it gave me the tools that I have now to be a coach, and I just love sharing it to the up and coming generation, and that's what matters the most to me. But yeah, I do have that urge. I have that urge all the time. As soon as I step into the UFC cage here, I'm like immediately into fight mode. I'm like, damn, shit. When's the next sparring match? Like, when's the next time that I get to touch up someone? Yeah, it happens a lot, especially for fighters that have a long layoff. You really have that urge. So yeah, I mean, for me, I'm always going to be a fighter at heart, and the training part, that's the crucial part because you're taking away from staying ready all the time, right? So you're trying to put food on the table, you're trying to make sure that the bills are paid, and at the same time, you're also trying to give all that love to your students and your clients, but you're also taking away from your fight camps and just staying ready. I know there was like some fighters I used to talk to, and they're like, "Oh, I asked this question to most of them, and that question was, oh, we only start training like a month out from our fight or like a couple weeks out." I'm like, well, then you're not really committed,
Suicide.
And yeah, you're setting yourself up for failure. For me, I try to stay ready as much as possible to where it's like, okay, I'm going to go on a fucking long ass run or a hike, or I'm sparring with other people, other individuals. And that's for me, but every individual is different.
Yeah, and I've seen like sparring videos of Gabe and Jake, and these guys say, "Oh, you know what? I'm old and I can't fight again." And I see a sparring video of Gabe and Jake, and I'm like, "Holy shit! They can still beat up 99.9999% of all of the fucking free world." You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never lose it. Like Gabe fights like a younger man, and so does Jake. It's like, holy shit! Like, you just never lose it. It's like riding a bicycle. You get right back on. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, the knowledge is always, like that's something that's inbred into us. You just become one with the art, and that's what I mean by respecting it, because you've been around it for a very long time. No matter what the age is, like it really just drives you in a whole different way. If you have the passion for it, then yeah, you're gonna fuck up some 20-year-old that walks into the gym for sure, and that thinks that they've been doing it for a very long time. But honestly, no. That's why that saying where with age there's wisdom, you know. And I'm like, fuck. I respect, like, when I go back home and I train with BJ and the Penn family. They're a bit older than me, but they fucking still tune me up. Like, honestly, they still tune me up, even though I'm evolving all the time. They have a few things that they probably don't show us. You know, they have some tricks there, some secret moves there, but yeah, it's just being committed. You have to be committed to it.
Oh yeah. And so before we get into 5 topics, obviously I know Gabe and Jake definitely want to talk about UFC 284 and talk about what transpired and all a mess of topics. So obviously you're going to fight for Cage Warriors, you're going to fight in Europe, or is that in the works or in the not so foreseeable future, or what's going on with that, or what's are we in the conversation phase?
Yeah. So to touch bases back on Cage Warriors, they really want me. They really want me to fight at welterweight, and I'm like, fuck no. I'm enjoying my life right now. Like, I get to eat amazing food. I'd rather fight at 185, and that's where my manager is just like sustaining my weight. So I'm really glad that, you know, I'm putting my foot down in that area, because I don't really want to cut weight to where I'm like fucking feeling like shit. The previous fight for Cage Warriors, I fought against Justin Berry, and I give him respect. You know, he had to cut weight down to 170 as well, and he's a tall motherfucker. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
He's a tall mofo. That's a tall guy.
Yeah, I mean, excuse my language, sorry, but you know, he's a tall guy, but he's been training for that fight for, I guess, like 3 months prior to the fight. And they called me up, Cage Warriors. They offered me the fight 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks actually, right before the fight weigh-ins, and I had to start cutting weight. And I was around. I was back home in Hawaii during that time, and when I go back home, I enjoy myself. You know, it's pretty much like a vacation. So I picked up a ton of weight. And I believe I was hitting the 2 plus. I was like 205, and I had to drop all the way back down to 170 in 2 weeks. So I'm like, fuck
that.
I did it though, you know. I mean, that's part of the fight game, right? But I'm trying to be more on the smarter side of it and be ready, like always. Right now, I'm walking around at 190. I'm feeling great. And all I have to do is drop down to 185. So that's a weight class that I'm continuing to fight at actively. For Cage Warriors, there's no one really that wants to fight me at a middleweight. I'm like very surprised, because it's going to be in San Diego. I mean, there's tons of people in San Diego, but why isn't there an opponent for me? So they keep offering me 170, and I'm like, look, if you guys are not going to meet me in the middle, then I guess I'm just going to carry on. Yeah, which is okay, which is fine with me, because there's so much different promotions out there. You know, I have Bellator that's coming up in April. That's going to be 22nd and the 23rd, I believe, and that's home in Hawaii. So that's also in the works. Right now, I'm having my management take care of that, and once I can finalize an opponent at 185, I'm hopping on board for sure.
Fuck yeah. And before that happens, you know, you get MC hammered with your buddies Jake and David at the MMA World MMA Awards. So, you know, it's a good deal, man.
I know, right? Damn, that was some fun shit. I'm not going to lie. The MMA Awards is beautiful. The first time attending, I look forward to the next one. Yeah, that was amazing.
Me and Jake were bomb.com, son. Holy shit. Like, just a smidge. So we're gonna.
Hey, in all fairness, David started at noon before the event, so we were well on our way.
Fair enough. So, all right. So we're going to talk 5 topics. We're going to wait for Mr. Gabe to get back. But obviously, we're going to go into 5 topics. We're going to talk about 5 topics. Man, I'm mixed up of words. But we're going to talk about 5 topics, 5 of the current trends and what's going on in the MMA world. So let's begin, shall we? Holy shit. Let's get on to 5 topics. KJ, are you ready to play 5 topics?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Let's go with question number 1. Holy shit. We are coming off UFC 284. Big fights that happened. The entire that card stacked up and down, left and right. So many incredible fights. What'd you think about the fights, KJ?
It was a tremendous card. You know, like the UFC 284, Islam. I caught like the very last ending part of Islam and Alex's fight, and I wish I got to like watch the whole thing because fuck, Aussies are fucking amazing. Am I allowed to swear? Sorry, wait. Am I allowed to swear on this?
You can swear.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, you can.
Like he's tough as nails. I mean, Islam is as well. He was taking a lot of damage, but Alex is a whole different beast. They don't mess around down there. You know, he's from the land of down under, so where they wrestle alligators and some shit. So I've heard.
Gabe. Sorry about that. So, Gabe, obviously you just came back, but UFC 284. Your review, your take on UFC 284.
Well, are we talking about just the main event? Are we talking about anything else?
The entire fight card. We'll talk about the main event, the next topic. But what do you think about UFC 284?
Let me just go with the co-main and the main. Co-main, Yair had a great showing, and he's fucked at 45 because Volkanovski is a monster.
Oh my God.
And Yair, for everything he's got, and he's very, very slick, he's got nothing for Volkanovski. Nothing.
You really think so? I think Yair has a pretty good shot with Volk.
Fuck no.
No
way. Nope.
KJ, you don't think Yair has a shot against Volk?
You know what? I'm gonna have to second on that. No, I do not. I mean, sorry to say it, Alex. I mean, Volk is gonna take his ass down, and he's just gonna smother him. He's well rounded on the stand up too. I mean, he could definitely take Yair out on the stand up, no doubt about it. He's as tough as nails. This guy is like, I mean, actually, he's not even a nail. He's the hammer. Yair would be the fucking nail.
So Emmett is a one-trick pony, and he hit his trick in the first round and put Yair on his back. And Volkanovski hits just as hard, has better movement, and has exceptional ground game as well as exceptional defense. Like, dude, look at how much trouble Ortega had him in. And dude, he got out of 3 of the most tight submissions I've ever seen, where I was like, it's done, and he got out. Like,
yes.
Yair's improving every fight, though. You don't think? Oh my God, Jake, come on! You gotta have my back on this one. Come on, brother.
Well, Yair's my boy. Yair's my boy, and I love him to death. And I was a little concerned about this Emmett fight, but Gabe, you're right. He is somewhat of a one-trick pony, but God damn, he hits so fucking hard coming forward. So I just wasn't sure if Yair was going to fight discipline enough to keep him at bay, right? To keep him at range. But I got to be honest, the last couple of fights Yair's had, there's a lot of dog, a lot of fight in that dog. So he's been a lot better. But Volkanovski is just a fucking savage.
Yeah. And so, look, this is not a knock on Yair at all. He's an exceptional fighter, and he's got a great skill set, and his kick game is exceptional. Like, well, not just his kick game, but his striking game is exceptional. And he just showed he has some grappling acumen as well because he just submitted Emmett. But Volkanovski is just a different animal.
Hey, a beautiful Lexus is a nice car, but it's not a Ferrari. There's no insult there.
Yeah.
One's great, but one's just, I've said it in my recaps. The last 5 recaps I've done of Volkanovski. He is the most underrated champion we have seen in the UFC. Nobody ever gives that poor kid credit. Never.
Fair enough.
He absolutely. I give him all the credit. That fight was exceptional, and I think that it could have gone either way, but he gave Islam more of a fight than anyone has.
So let's go on to topic number 2, and obviously Jake wants to talk about this. So let's just skip over to topic number 2, shall we?
Just a little ditty about 2.
So, KJ, did Volk get fucked? I think he's out. Hey, did Volk get fucked?
There we are.
I think he's like he's at the gym right now. For a second. And so, Gabe, did Volk get fucked?
You know what? So there's a lot of back and forth about it. My personal feeling is that if we go by the 10-9 scoring system, no. But if we take into consideration that are not doing damage, and when Islam had his back, he was actually getting punched and not close to a submission, I actually would give it to Volkanovski. But following the 10-9 system that is in place, with takedowns holding the weight that they have and control what they are, I would actually give the slight lean towards Islam, but it wasn't a blowout by any standard. And the thing is, either guy could have won, and it could have been a draw, and you couldn't have complained about that either.
KJ, you're having a little bit of an echo, so I can't see. You're also on black, so we're going to wait until you fix it for a little bit. But the decision was so razor thin between both these guys. I mean, Al Gore and George Bush is asking for a recount. I mean, holy shit, was it close? It was so fucking close. Jake, what's your personal thoughts, personal assessment?
Yeah, you can't say fucked, you know. And Gabe's right on the criteria, but I did look at it where when he had his back, he did have control, but you got to look at the damage. They say damage is the number one criteria, and he was pounding him away, talking to him. I mean, man, I was on my feet going, oh my God, this is incredible. Yeah. And so he definitely did get fucked, but I said this right afterwards. I don't think you could take his pound for pound ranking away for going up. I mean, if he would have went down a weight, you know, I get it, you take it away, but he didn't. He went up a weight, and we talked about this. The last two guys that went up a weight, it didn't fare well. Volk shined. I don't like that the one judge had it 49-46 at all. I don't know what, you know, every fucking week we go through this with these knuckleheads. That fight was, you know, like Gabe said, it's a little bit of interesting one to score, but man, I mean, his stock skyrocketed. And I got to say, Islam's has, I'm not going to say plummeted, but dove a little bit because he showed his invincibility, that Mike Tyson effect we talked about last show. I'm not going to say it's gone, but man, it's not where it was because everybody's like, okay, here's the fucking blueprint. Let's go.
And actually, there have already been multiple lightweights that are like, oh, it showed chinks in the armor. It showed chinks in the armor. So I got to say that probably a lot of lightweights are like, okay, yeah, like he's not what everyone. And look, perception is everything, right? And like everyone's going to talk their guys up like they're world beaters. In the room, they destroy everybody, heavyweights. Like, of course, like DC is going to say, like, in the room, Islam takes him down at will because it's his guy. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to build up your team to be. But when the chinks in the armor are shown, it's going to give a ray of light. And I guarantee you that top 10 are like, he's very beatable.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you know, nobody wanted to fight Hazmat. Our boy Burns stepped up. I thought he won the fight, but, you know, it was one of those fights you could go either way. This is the same fight. So all of a sudden, nobody's stepping up, like Gabe said. And now everybody's stepping up to wanting to fight him.
Yep.
KJ, so quick question for you, KJ. Did Volk get fucked in your personal assessment?
Did Volk get fucked? Honestly, yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes. The rounds, you know, he won best three out of two, you know, and I got to give it all to Volk because
now which three would you give? Which three would you give to Volkanovski?
Let me see.
obviously 5. That's 5 is not a, there can't be a contention with that. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I give you 5 too.
Yeah, definitely 5. Well, 3 and 5 for sure.
Right.
3 and 5, I give Volk 100%. You know, like that's where he was peaking. I felt like he was fucking controlling the whole situation the whole time, but you know, 3 and 5, that's where he was peaking, and 5, you can definitely see that Islam was like just holding on for dear life. That's pretty much all he was doing.
And
Okay, so
oh,
3
sorry.
and 5. What other rounds? There's got to be another one that you feel like he decisively won.
Well, yeah, that would be like as soon as he got his footing and everything in, like that was like the first round that he came off on. The first round, he legit fucking capitalized on every. I know he got dropped, but still, it was like, fuck. You really. I remember like back in the day, where UFC champions, when they were UFC champions, you had to really put people out in order to become the next champion, not win a round. That wasn't how it was back then. Like you really had to destroy your opponent, which Volk did. He completely destroyed his opponents.
Oh no, I you know what? Like it was one of those fights where I wasn't necessarily disappointed at the decision, and for them to give the Islam because it was so razor fucking close. But at the same token, too, that aura of invincibility, man. Everybody gave Islam the rub. Everybody thought Islam was gonna buzzsaw right fucking through him. I thought Islam was gonna buzz right through him, and then you have Volk in the first round. He's in a dangerous position. 0 fucks given. He gives the fucking the love to the crowd. 0 fucks given. Did not care. Just weathered the storm and kept fighting. That first round, like a normal human being would have like been dimmed out and just lost their composure. No, Volk stayed the course. He was ready to rock and roll. And that 5th round, if you could judge the entire fight by that 5th round, I would give it to Volk. And one of our friends actually said 3-2 Volk, which I have to tend to agree. I think the judges fucked up that one.
Well, but look at now we're all giving different takes on it, and so then how can you get fucked when there are so many different opinions on winning and losing? If every single person in the room goes yes, he got fucked, and then there's a debate. But if there's if one person is saying oh it's a draw, the other one is saying I could see it happen the other way, and it's very very razor thin. It could have gone either way. It's not really. It's just. It's the perception of the judges, right? And like I've seen fights where people have been genuinely robbed. I wouldn't call it a robbery.
Right.
Okay.
And you see the Australians, and speaking, KJ, you were mentioning about the crazy Australians. I actually have a video from Australia, and they were watching the fight live. Take a look.
We go to the judges' scorecard for decision. The judges score the contest 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision. And
You know what's scarier than fucking sparring with KJ or fighting Gabe or Jake? Fucking crazy Australians pissed off. That's scary.
I love that. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it took him several seconds to process that he didn't say he won.
There was one guy in there that he 100% thought it was 100% going that way. And
they really. I know.
Terrible. All right, guys, are you ready for topic number 3?
Grace, let's go.
Holy shit, we are rocking and rolling, cooking and smoking. Let's go to topic number 3. So this is a topic that was brought up, and they said people want our personal take on it. So UFC 285 predictions, and KJ, we'll let you go first. Obviously, the big fight, the return of John Bones Jones. I'm going to be there covering all the action. John Bones Jones versus Cyber Gang. What do you think about that fight, babe?
Fuck. What I think, like my prediction of who's going to win on that fight or just the fight alone.
What do you think between John Jones and Game?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I train at Fight Ready here in Arizona, and John Jones just came through. This fucking guy is massive. Like, honestly, I size up to quite a few people, and when I was sizing myself up compared to him, I was like, damn, this guy is fucking. And also, I've got to spar a little bit with him and just move around. I have some fucking punching power. I'm not gonna lie. My punching power is like fucking off the charts. But this guy is like, and his spinning back elbows. That's my favorite thing to do, is just open people up. I like this fight. I really do. I mean, it's gonna be a really good fight, especially probably a stand-up war too. But we all know what's gonna happen, regardless of the fact if it does go to the ground. I mean, Jones got some really good wrestling background, so he's got some really good fucking defense, and he's gonna try and keep it up as much as possible. But yeah, like I said, if he gets touched up, if Jones ends up landing any one of those elbows, it's good night, Irene.
Yeah. And Gabe, what's your personal take on it?
I'm not sure. It's interesting. I think the deciding factor I would think would be the wrestling. If Jones uses his wrestling, he absolutely could win the fight, because we saw how Ngannou was able to take him down. And I was actually just reading earlier that Gane readily admits that he's kind of lazy, and you can't be lazy with someone like John Jones. But again, it could also be one of those things that he's just saying it so people think that he's not going to be prepared. I certainly, if I was lazy, I certainly wouldn't be saying it in interviews. But I think it will decide if Jones tries to wrestle with him or not. If he stands with him, I think there might be a problem, because Gane is not only is he an exceptional striker, he's been fighting consistently, and Jones is coming off of a 2 to 3 year layoff. And ring rust is real, son. Ring rust is real.
You know what's really telling, Jake, and I gotta bring this up, but when I was at the Apex, I interviewed Cyril Gain. I'm like, so Cyril, just let me know your mind state. What problems do you present to John Jones that Zanganu wouldn't have presented to John Jones? And I felt that hesitation, like he really had to think about it when I asked him that question. Jake, hot take on this one. What?
I don't know, but Gabe, stop stealing all my goddamn answers, bro. I'm going second, like I got nothing in the tank. No, Gabe nailed it all. Again, it's does he wrestle him? And I think he does. I think he takes him. I think he presses him against the cage. I don't think he's going to sit at range, because John Jones is, look, he's probably he's one of the greatest we've ever seen, by far. But guys have caught up to him. And I don't know if it's John Jones being a little lazier and not defending his title, which, look, I'm not knocking him, because it's unfucking believable what he's done. But, you watch these fights and guys got closer and closer. A lot of people thought he lost a few of those fights against Dominic Reyes. So there's been some razor close fights. And then here's my big concern. And I know he took plenty of time, but I've always walked around at 55. I packed on a bunch of muscle a couple years ago because I wasn't competing competitively. I didn't move the same. I didn't move the same. I didn't feel the same. And that's not a lot of weight. Again, I know he's taken that weight, but your body's going to be different. Everything you do, your hooks, your punches, everything's going to be different with carrying that extra muscle mass. And when he packed on all that muscle for the OSP fight after he was off for a little while, it took him 5 rounds to get rid of OSP, which he should have demolished. So I'm with Gabe. If he stands with him and just purely stands, Cyril Gane's one of the prettiest strikers in the heavyweight division by far. If it goes to the ground, obviously John Jones takes it, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Can I just interject real quick, Jake? You added so much more than I did on that. So shut up, man. I didn't take anything away from you. You just did way better. Just want to give you a little credit.
I was thinking the whole time. That's why I was writing notes down. I was ready to go.
All right, guys. So let's go. Are we ready for topic number 4? All right, let's fucking do this. Let's go to topic number 4.
Love question 4.
All right, so Knucklemania 3 is coming up this weekend. Obviously, I don't know if you guys actually and people watching at home have followed the rise of bare knuckle. They have a flagship event called Knucklemania. It's happened. This is going to be the third year. I was at Knucklemania 1. KJ, what's your personal take, especially being a mixed martial artist and being a fighter? What's your personal take on BKFC trying to make this flagship event one of the biggest in bare knuckle and possibly one of the biggest in sports? So what's your personal take on bare knuckle?
Trying to promote boxing in a different form of backyard, like bringing it to the limelight of, okay, let's make it a boxing thing without the fact that you're wearing fucking 12-ounce gloves. I fought a lot of backyard fights before. Before I started, I had to defend myself growing up a few times. So I kind of like it. I like the bare knuckle, just that concept, just the promotion itself. But I would not take my chances on that, because do you see all these fucking fighters after they're done with a fight? Yeah. They're just honestly look like shit. and if you did look like shit, you probably look even worse after that. Yeah, but I like it. I mean, good for them on trying to promote themselves in a whole different way and bringing that sport to life, I guess. That's my take on bare knuckle fighting. But I can't really knock him down, because I was kind of interested in fighting for a promotion, BYB, if you guys have heard of them. And they've offered me a pretty nice penny, so that was in the works as well. So I can't really like fucking talk shit about bare knuckle fighting, but at the same time, that it's a cool promotion. Knucklemania, all respect to everyone that's standing in or taking that fight in the trigon, I believe it's called.
It's a circle. It's like a circle ring, and BYB's triangle. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But me being an MMA fighter, I get to utilize my kicks, my elbows, taking someone down, and that's being a well-rounded mixed martial artist. Being a stand-up fighter, I might as well just be a boxer. If that's the case.
Fuck yeah, man. So Jake, your hot take on of course, all sports you can play with one ball, but again, combat sports takes two balls. I respect. I don't discriminate towards any combat sports. Tony Rivera said Lorenzo Hunt by KO. I think that's a consensus, and I love Lorenzo Hunt. Shout out to him. So, Jake, what's your hot take on Knucklemania and bare knuckle trying to get their way and break through the glass ceiling and become a premier sport?
I was originally approached by Dave Feldman, and I was working for them, partially working for them, doing some consulting work, and then I was supposed to compete on the very first card because it was close to Colorado. I think it's kind of like slap boxing. It's so. I mean, we all love fighting, and we all love that testosterone, alpha, bloody mess. But like KJ was saying, it's hard. I mean, look at yourself afterwards. Is that it's very hard to take that mainstream, right? I mean, they've done a good job, but I think they're going to have a ceiling. I like it, but it's not something that I truly enjoy watching. I like all the weapons, like KJ was saying. I like the technique. And Gabe and I were talking last week about slap boxing, about about having all different arts in the one in the skill set instead of just punching each other. So I like it, but I'm not hugely behind it.
Yeah, what's your hot take on bare knuckle?
There's a little background noise. I can't hear very much right now.
Oh, I think KJ's in his car. I think we got a little bit of background noise. Oh yeah, he muted himself. Okay, Gabe.
Yeah. So I got lost there for a minute because of the background noise. So first off, this is a bad question. Jake is prepared for this stuff. I'm not prepared for anything. I'm not even prepared for. I have a class I got to teach in an hour. I'm not prepared for that. Who is fighting on Knucklemania 3?
So Lorenzo
Well,
Hunt.
just what do you think of bare knuckle in general?
Okay. Well, I was just curious for the Knucklemania. Unlike slap boxing, or was it the Premier Slap, whatever the hell it is?
Power slap, Gabe. Power slap.
I apologize. Power slap. There you have to be skilled to do that sport. And bare knuckle. I have my takes. This is my personal feeling. The granddaddy, the king of combat sports is mixed martial arts, and people that are either retiring from mixed martial arts, their careers are over, or have never really excelled at it, they're jumping into bare knuckle.
Yeah.
And I know my bare knuckle people are going to be mad about that, but it's the fact. It's the truth. Look at all the champions. Look at their MMA records if they have them, and also look at how they would do in MMA.
So you're saying they're PFL?
What's that?
You're
saying they're PFL. Every ex-UFC fighter that couldn't fight anymore went PFL signed them.
I'm saying they're IFL.
I missed
No. I listen. I like the fact that it's there, and they're absolutely utilizing the former MMA fighters to get their credibility up quickly. And I don't have an issue with it. But yeah, who's on the Knucklemania 3?
Diego fucking Sanchez is on that fucking card. KJ, what do you think about Diego Sanchez?
He should not be fighting. Like, genuinely, that guy. And listen, Diego is a warrior through and through, but that guy has so much CTE already. The last thing he needs to do is get punched in the face without gloves on.
Fair enough. And KJ, your take, Diego Sanchez fighting. Should he not be fighting? Should he be fighting? What's your take on that?
Well, my take on that too is the same as Zach as Gabe as well. He's been taking so much damage over the years, and God bless that man because he's a savage and he wants to just. It's like that burning desire, and it's in every single fighter, no matter how old you get. Even fucking if you get to like 80 something years old, you still want to fight. You're like that grandfather at the party where like, yo, let me show you something. Like, I want to show you like a jab across or something. You still have that fire in you no matter what. Honestly, I hope this is going to be his last fight because I want him to end it with a good win. And if he does win, all power to him. I don't want him to continue. Like Gabe said, it's the damage we don't realize, but you could get hit so hard and then possibly not even wake up the next day. I'm not wishing that on anyone, but that's just my take on Diego Sanchez. I wish him all the best.
Awesome. So we're gonna go on to the fifth and final topic, and then we're gonna kick it over to KJ, and we're gonna have him promote and do his spiel, and you can listen to where you can find him. So are you guys ready for number 5?
Let's go.
All right, let's fucking do this. Let's fucking go. All right, number 5, ladies and gentlemen, the last topic of the night.
Let's make a baby 5.
Fuck yeah. Logan Paul and the rumor of Logan Paul fighting Paddy Pimblett. The fucking glitch in the system of the Paul brothers now just dabbling in combat sports and going balls to the wall. This was actually a referral from my friend John. Thank you very much for the question, John. So Logan Paul fighting Paddy Pimblett doesn't happen. And, these guys, the Paul brothers, just shaking up shit. What do you think, KJ? What's your take?
My take on Paddy Pimblett, I was working for the boxing club, which he is I believe a co-founder or something of it. Other than that, if he can talk the trash, that's where it sells the shows, right? I mean, look at Conor McGregor. He has a mouth, but he also backs his shit up. This kid, he has a mouth on him, but he can't really back his shit up. Not all his fights, like he's still learning, and that's the thing about being a mixed martial artist. You're either evolving, or you're fucking spiraling out of control, and your career is going to shit. But for that kid, as long as he keeps the show entertained, then they're going to keep him no matter what. The UFC is going to keep him on board. But regarding the fight, if that possibly actually goes through, I'm pretty sure it will, because he's the next star boy, poster boy. Is that what you call him nowadays? Poster boy. So if that goes through, honestly, I just hope that he's training and not eating as much. I hope he's training as much and not fucking eating as much.
He better be eating, because he's about 50 pounds lighter than Logan.
Yeah.
Well, that's
For once, fucking Patty can eat all he wants and be all right.
That fight's not happening.
Exactly. Well, that's cool. That's cool. But like I said, he should be training just as much as he's eating, right? So, we'll see.
Gotcha. Jake, Gabe, what's your hot take on Paddy Pimblett and being so hyped to the moon that they're talking about Logan Paul versus Paddy Pimblett? What's your take?
This is the first I've heard that, and that will not happen. That fight will not happen. Paddy Pimblett is a UFC fighter, and if you think that Dana White for even 1 second is going to let the Paul brothers utilize UFC talent, you are smoking some crack, son. It's not going to happen. I'm sure I haven't heard that at all, and maybe it's Logan Paul that's talking about it. And is it boxing? Because Paddy Pimblett, look, I like the kid. He seems like he's charismatic and he's got okay grappling, not even exceptional grappling. He's got okay grappling, but his striking is not very good.
That's fair.
So is it a boxing match?
No, they're talking. John brought this up, and he said, "Wow, there are rumors and rumblings that Logan Paul is going to fight Paddy Pimblett." And I know, and in the Big Dick Bandit and infinite wisdom of Dana White, fucking signed Logan Paul, even though his brother is sworn enemies with Dana White, signs him to a full-time deal with I think it's called Prime, or his milkshake, or his fucking energy drink. I have no idea what. But what's your hot take, Jake, on Paddy Pimblett?
It's Prime energy drink, and probably where the rumors are coming is that it's one of the fastest growing energy drinks in the world, and they signed with the UFC. Logan and KSI, and look, UFC is not stupid, and Gabe knows this, so they're never gonna allow that fight to happen. We've been down this road with James Toney, who I worked with, unfortunately, before Randy Couture. And, and I forgot who the wrestler guy that came over was. So we've
Brock
seen
Lesnar and CM Punk. Yeah, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk.
Yeah. Well, Brock Lesnar fucking fought. I mean, he actually fought and won. So we can't throw Brock in there. The other two guys
He's also a national wrestling champion.
Yeah, fucking savage. So yeah, that fight's never going to happen. But if it did happen, I mean, it's just two different size differences, and yeah, never gonna fucking happen.
Fair enough.
What
did you say, KJ?
I said I'm hoping that it does not happen, but that's the thing, right? I was just telling someone the other day, it's like, fuck, it's like coming to where it's like it's pretty much well, I know it's entertainment, but it's also becoming a fucking circus. And the UFC, I know they know what they're doing for sure, 100%. Bringing in the numbers on that part, that's my biggest concern, is that part. So, I hope the fight doesn't happen, because it takes away from those that have been working so hard to get to the top, and fight against other big names. So that's just my take on that.
They would never allow it to happen also, because Paddy's such a cash cow, and UFC is one of the only organizations, unlike boxing, that invests back in the marketing for their guys. And they've been very careful with Sugar Sean and some of these guys now, how they're bringing them up, making their stock rise. And Paddy still, love him, hate him, whatever you feel about him, he still draws numbers. And if there's a small chance that Logan actually beat him, UFC would just have lost millions of dollars in future revenue.
So we're getting towards the end of the show. KJ, it was an honor having you on, my brother. You know, being able to promote your career, being able to talk and pick your brain about mixed martial arts, combat sports, etc. So, you know, just sum up, you know, your life, your MMA career, everything in a nutshell. We want people to follow you. Where can we follow you? And we want people to you know, root for you, especially if you're going to go back into Cage Warriors. So, how do you sum up everything? Life, MMA, all in a nutshell. How do you sum up yourself?
How do I sum up myself? Well, like I said, I'm a ever evolving mixed martial artist. If not, I would have fucking retired a long time ago. I'm still learning. Where I want to be a complete mixed martial artist, an MMA fighter. You know, I want to be well-rounded in every single aspect in the game. Not just boxing, not just jiu-jitsu, not just judo, kanji kempo, whatever. So far, I want to be well-rounded. So that, like, my journey is still not even at the peak.
Yeah. I
think he peaked.
I think he froze. I think he froze, brother.
It was a perfect peak.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Oh, he's back. Let's go.
So where to follow me? Everyone, you can follow me on my social platforms. You know, there will be a YouTube channel coming up soon too as well. That's going to follow my journey. I think I spoke to you guys about this when we were at the MMA Awards. Definitely spoke to Luke, and I wanted to get that ball rolling on, you know, taking that journey into life. I believe we ended up talking about Fight Science. You guys remember Fight Science, where there were the two brothers that traveled the world and they were learning? I am starting a vlog on that too, where I'm going to be traveling the world as well. I'm happy that I'm blessed with, you know, the expenses to do so, and that's going to be taken care of to where I get to hone my skill and fine-tune everything. I will be doing that in several different countries, hopping from Bali to Thailand, possibly Japan, and, you know, just being creative with it, just becoming that true mixed martial artist fighter, the MMA fighter itself. That will be up on YouTube soon as well. I will be sending that out on my platform on Instagram, but at Diamond Dynasty MMA. Other than that, I look forward to the next opportunity to fight for Cage Warriors and get out there to London and, you know, get to put on a show in Paddy Pimlin's town, you know?
Absolutely. And me and Jake and Gabe are going to be rooting for you every step of the way. You know, you're one of our brothers. We love you, so we're glad that we got you on. And Gabe, final thoughts, final words for the four-time world champion, BJJ black belt, and owner of one of the best gyms on the planet Earth. What was the name of that?
I would say at least top 5, at least in this galaxy. No, I just KJ, thanks for sitting and talking with you. I don't know you like these two gentlemen do, but I wish you nothing but luck in your career and whatever you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks for sitting in and talking with us.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jake, final thoughts, final words from the MMA pioneer, the man himself, Jake Thunder Hatton. Final words, sir.
Special K, it was good to see you sober, my brother. Man, it's always fascinating watching guys' journeys, you know, through the sport and their passions, and love some of the stuff that you said that, you know, like I said, your drive, your passion, man, we'll be rooting for you. So look forward to your show. Make sure you let us know exactly what's going on with that. We'll hopefully do something with Fight Mixer and MMA Weekly as well.
Oh yeah. We're going to promote you every single step of the way, KJ. So you're not going anywhere. When you fight for Cage Warriors, we're your hype men. So we're looking forward to that. So boys and girls, by the way, me, Jake, and Gabe's, our boy, fucking Shannon Cannon Bridge, has a new movie coming out tomorrow. The Weapon with Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to be in that movie as well. So we're going to leave off with the trailer and a sneak peek of the movie that's going to be premiering tomorrow. Our good buddy's going to be in it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Fight Mixer. Thank you so much to our guest host, the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, KJ, 4-time world champion Gabe, Jake Thunder Hatton. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week on the Fight Mixer. Peace.
Tell me, who is this guy? Comes in here, has the balls to jeopardize everything we work for.
Maybe he's a cop. Maybe he's with the feds.
Nah, he ain't with the law. No law would do what he did.
The only time I worried about him was the first time I met him. Broken, scared kid. And he's still very much a part of me.
This Dallas character's put Lars in a really bad spot with the bikers and the cartel.
I'm gonna find out who he's working for, and then I'm gonna kill him.
Word on the street is he's offering $5 million for anyone who can bring it to him.
Well, it's a whole lot of reasons, isn't it?
I'm savage.
Room 104. Dallas sounds like somebody's trying to cover the tracks. You need to get out now. Let's get this over with.
You can't break me. I'm with it.
We got him.
Shut him up.
Tough guy, huh?
I get him.
Dallas's days are numbered.
When he gets here, he's gonna kill you.
I get him.
Where's Lars? I don't know where.
Ready to survive. I'm on. I would never fall.
The blind man, he made a weapon. He can't control it.
I'm savage.
We need to find Lars. We need to finish this.
We are going to have to take control.
Wait!
Having a hard time going back to the gym after working out at home? Well, now you don't have to with the X-Bar. The X-Bar from X-Bar Fitness is an incredible gym alternative that gives you the same intense workout you get at a full gym with hundreds of machines. One X-Bar alone provides the same workout as a cable machine, bench press, dumbbell set, free weights, leg press, barbell set, and all these other machines. Stop wasting time debating whether or not you should go to the gym. Order the X-Bar to get a quality workout in the comfort of your own home.